Straight ahead on 7 News, the Fine Arts Department is preparing for their first theater production.
Plus, some changes to one of the businesses in the city of Alva. We'll tell you what is being added.
Also, 7 News reporter Chelsea Adams visits with Sandra Ernst regarding Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Keep it here. 7 News starts now.
From the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, honored by the Oklahoma Broadcast Education Association 2 years in a row for the best collegiate newscast in Oklahoma. This is 7 News.
Hello, and thank you for choosing 7 News today. I'm Megan Mayhall.
And I'm Becky Burke. Our story today focuses on Northwestern's latest blood drive.
The Northwestern Theater Department has been working hard on their fall production. Senior speech theater and major Christy Benson is the student director. The Effects of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds opens Thursday night in Harrod Hall. The cast has been working for the past 2 months on the show itself, and the set for the show is well on its way. Make sure you mark your calendars to attend the show. It plays this Thursday and Friday at 7:30 and Saturday at 2 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. This past Friday, students met at the newest property in Alva for the Graceful Arts Center for the second ever poetry reading. For more information about when the next reading is or how to get on the schedule, contact Amy Hall in Vinson Hall 212.
This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and reporter Janelle Mitchell gives us a look at this disease and how one survivor is spreading the message of hope for those suffering.
It just seemed like the floor went out from under my feet. You know, you just kind of go into survival mode.
These words are the words from a breast cancer survivor who found out that she had been diagnosed 4 years ago. Dr. Pfeiffer Hill shared with us her story.
It was October 2008, and the phone call actually came from Dr. Alicia Van Hooser down at where I got my mammogram. It was October 8th, and she said, yeah, you've got invasive ductal carcinoma.
Dr. Pfeiffer Hill's struggle began like many others. She went in for a regular mammogram but came out with breast cancer. Over the next year, she went through chemotherapy and surgery.
I had to meet almost immediately with a surgeon. They had to surgically remove it. I opted for a lumpectomy, which is just a partial, just the area is removed. And then they biopsy that. They are also looking at lymph nodes to see how much did it spread.
Her message to other women is this:
if you can save even just one person, don't skip those annual checkups. I felt fine. You know, it just came out of the clear blue for me.
This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so go ahead and support breast cancer and wear your pink.
Thanks, Janelle. For more information about breast cancer awareness, visit the American Cancer Society website.
Alva's Airport has a new manager whose name may be familiar to many of you. Well, tell you who coming up.
Also, sexting has become an issue in today's technology-driven world. Information about proposed legislation regarding sexting.
Keep it here. We'll be right back.
What happened to the blood drive story?
It's easy.
Because that's what was supposed to go first.
Turn off lights. Use energy-saving light bulbs. And turn off electronics and appliances when not in use. Make a change and we can really fly. Learn more at energy.gov/kids.
Did you know that getting up and getting active for just 60 minutes a day is all it takes to help you get stronger, look better, and feel great?
Or that fresh fruits and veggies aren't just healthier and crunchier, they can taste better too?
Eating better and getting more active is easier than you think.
Yeah! Keep watching for some fun and easy ways to discover the magic of healthy living in your life.
America.
Let's get healthy together!
In the fast-paced world we live in, you deserve to get your news when and how you want it.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it.
7 News, the Northwestern News. and rangerpulse.com. Bringing you the news any way you want it.
Welcome back. This past week, Northwestern held its annual blood drive in honor of former Northwestern student Bradley Gilbert. The blood drive was held for 2 days last week. Students were encouraged to donate their blood in the name of Bradley Gilbert. The Northwestern President's Leadership class promoted the blood drive and helped the nurses throughout the 2 donation days. Over 280 donors donated. 20 donors participated in the 20 donors donated in the bone marrow screening as well. Northwestern will host their next blood drive on December 8th. Changes have been made to the Alva Regional Airport. This time, the change includes a familiar face. Tyson Tucker has lived in Alva for the past 10 years and is now the current airport manager. Tucker is replacing Eric Stewart, who returned to his hometown in Arkansas for other business opportunities.
The Northwestern Theater Department has been working hard on their fall production. Senior speech and theater major Christy Benson is the student director. The Effects of Gamma Rays on the Man in the Moon Marigolds opens Thursday night in Harrod Hall. The cast has been working for the past 2 months on the show itself, and the set for the show is well on its way. Make sure you mark your calendars to attend the show. It plays this Thursday, Friday at 7:30 and Saturday at 2 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. Oklahoma is one of 21 states reviewing sexting laws. A bill was introduced by House Democrats last year but didn't get a hearing. Now, the issue is being studied in between sessions. Oklahoma City Police testified a dramatic spike of sexting cases in the last year. Lawmakers agree, while a felony may be too harsh, the law needs to have enough of a bite to discourage minors from sending and receiving nude photos. Senator Anthony Sykes spoke up about the issue and said, "The teenager could be a high-level registered sex offender for the rest of their lives, but in all other regards, a decent kid that has made a mistake." Along with breast cancer, October is also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. News reporter Chelsea Adams had a guest in the studio to discuss just what happened. Chelsea?
Today in the studio we have Violence Prevention Coordinator Sandra Ernst. Hi Sandra, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right, Sandra, go ahead and tell me a little bit about your job and what services you offer here at Northwestern.
Okay, well, this is a grant through the Office of Violence Against Women, and through this grant we're able to do educational programs and offer services to students, faculty, and staff. And the grant covers aspects of sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, stalking, and any kind of relationship violence.
Wow, so it covers a pretty wide variety of things.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so I'm aware that it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I know that you guys are going to have a sexual assault seminar. Tell me a little bit about that and the speaker that you're going to have there.
Okay, we're real excited this year. We have Matt Atkinson coming, and he is the author of 2 books. And I actually had heard him at a conference a few years ago and had bought his book. Awesome. And so when I was looking for a speaker and I spoke with him, I was like, well, I have his book. And so he's very knowledgeable about rape and sexual assault. He is an expert. He is, a therapist in that area. And I think it's a really good, nice thing to have a male that is a presenter in that area. So we'll have a separate seminar that's focused towards the females and then one that's focused towards the males. And it's October the 18th. And the males are at 6:30 and the females are at 8 in Harrod Hall.
Awesome. Okay, and I've also noticed that you've been sending out some emails to kind of educate the students and probably the staff as well, and the posters you have around.
Right.
It's pretty neat.
Thank you.
All right, what is your probably your advice that you'd give to someone that thought that they were a victim or felt as if they were a victim of any of these areas?
Okay. Well, to start with, in domestic violence and dating violence, I think the biggest issue is to realize that, that you are involved in that kind of a relationship, that is the, destructive relationship that you're in. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, don't really totally understand it because these are kind of cyclic issues. there will be, maybe a big blow up, and then things will kind of tone down for a while. There will be maybe excuses made, maybe blaming, maybe the victim will feel like they caused it. And so things will get kind of confused, sometimes. It's like, well, if I hadn't done this, or if I hadn't done that this would have never even come up to begin with. So a lot of times people they know that things don't seem right, and they know that they're upset. They're either getting beat or they're emotionally being, beat down and manipulated. And I think the first thing is to become aware that someone is controlling you, and it is about power and control. And a lot of times the first step is really being aware that your relationship is abusive, either mentally or physically.
It can be a very serious subject, that's for sure.
Yes, we're number 4 in the nation as far as incidents of domestic violence in Oklahoma.
Wow. Okay, so where is your office located? Because you talked about giving counseling services and helping students and staff. Where could we find you at during the day?
I'm in Fine Arts 208, and again, services for anybody that's going through any kind of relationship violence, or any area that I can be of help. If I can't help them, then I can certainly find somebody. But we are available to help people that are going through these things, whether they're wanting to go through the court process, if they're wanting to have medical services, whether they're just needing emotional support, or whether they're needing counseling. We're very able and willing to help with whatever the individual may need, and that can include the court process if that should be necessary.
That's awesome that you offer all that. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sandra.
Thank you.
And we'll take it back to the desk.
Thank you, Chelsea. For more information, you can contact Sandra at 327-8119 or visit her office in the Fine Arts Building, room 209. New management is underway at Alba's local Kickin' Coffee. Our reporter, Shailene Jones, will be giving you the new updates.
With fall, many changes occur, and for this young entrepreneur, her business degree is being put to work. Wichita native Heather Davis recently took over the Kickin' Coffee shop located right on the boulevard.
Alright, well, I just bought Kickin' Coffee from Rosie Blunk. I worked for her since she opened the place in December. I went to school for entrepreneurship, and this is exactly what I wanted to do. We're planning on getting more lunch menus out there, and we got beer ox every day, we got tuna salad every day. We'll have chicken and noodles every Tuesday and Friday, and we got beef and noodles coming out Wednesday. Check the board outside for our specials, and they'll also be in the paper. And also our big board out front will have our new hours, and everything will be open 7 to 7. We got free Wi-Fi, so you can come in and sit down and do homework and enjoy a good cup of coffee.
There are many homemade treats and drinks to enjoy. The menu will slightly change, but the original favorites will remain. Here is what a local Northwestern student thought of the new place.
I really like the vibe at Kickin' Coffee. It's very a young crowd. It's homemade food. Since all of us college kids are away from our parents, we like the homemade. They have cinnamon rolls, and all their food is very homemade. I also like that there's free Wi-Fi. It gives you a place to study or whatever you're going to do for school. It's very quiet, more appealing environment for college students.
For Channel 7 News, I'm Shailene Jones.
Kickin' Coffee promises to always have fresh and homemade lunches ready to eat there or on the go. Several things coming up on campus that you'll want to keep in mind.
Keep it here. A look at upcoming events when we return.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live United for Education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
Did you know that getting up and getting active for just 60 minutes a day is all it takes to help you get stronger, look better, and feel great?
Or that fresh fruits and veggies aren't just healthier and crunchier, they can taste better too?
Eating better and getting more active is easier than you think.
Yeah! Keep watching for some fun and easy ways to discover the magic of healthy living in your life.
America.
Let's get healthy together.
In the fast-paced world we live in, you deserve to get your news when and how you want it.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it.
7 News, the Northwestern News, and RangerPulse.com. Bringing you the news any way you want it.
Look at some of the events taking place on campus. Flu shots will be given this Thursday in the Student Center from 1:30 until 5:30. Cost for the shots are $25.
The Sexual Assault Seminar is being held next Tuesday in Harrod Hall. Many student organizations on campus, as well as all Ranger Connection classes, are required to attend.
Finally, no school decks Thursday and Friday because of fall break. All offices will be closed.
That is going to do it for us today. Remember, we are always online at rangerpulse.com.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.